Good morning, everybody. I'm going to go ahead and this video is to address a question that I had gotten on my Answering Questions on Feminism Part 1 video. This comes from Christopher13. He asks me, what legal rights does one sex have over the other? And in this question, he cited the Equal Pay Act that was enacted 40 years ago as an example. So I'm just going to go ahead and address this part of it. Christopher, legally speaking, neither sex has any rights over the other one. That includes women over men. So let's remember that when we're questioning women on what rights men have over women, because we don't have any more legal rights over you than you have over us. But see, that's the nature of legalese. That's like the nature of legal speaking. Neither sex, no legal document will have a clear outline of, females get paid less than males do, and that's part of the Constitution. It's not, because if that was in the terminology, it could be deemed unconstitutional, go to the Supreme Court, and then be thrown out. So, legally speaking, neither sex has any more rights over the other one. So let's just remember that. But see, here's the thing. With the Equal Pay Act that was enacted 40 years ago, the legal terminology states that the employer is only required to give a minimum of minimum wage to all employees. Beyond that, it's up to the individual employer on what they pay their employees. And they can base this number on whatever they want. It's the employee, it is the business owner's prerogative. So, say we've got two candidates for the same position, for the same promotion. Each one has worked for the same company for roughly 5 years. They've got the same education. They've got the same certifications. They've got the same experience. They've worked for the company the same amount of time. But say somewhere in the female candidate's history, she took a year off to have a baby and to take care of the child. And in the male's same time frame, he only took off 2 weeks for paternity leave when his wife had a child. The employer can then use that 1 year pay, employment gap to justify her not being paid as much as the male candidate would be paid. And they can use something so ridiculous as, oh, well, John has a certification in identifying mockingbirds and you don't have that certification. It doesn't even have to do anything with the business. It just has to be there. The employer can make up whatever excuse he wants, and often they do. And I've actually experienced this myself. I've been subjected to this myself. I was working for a company in my hometown, and I'd been there roughly a year and a half, somewhere around there. And I had moved up in the ranks. I'd been promoted from just, a telemarketer on up to a full-on salesperson. I was doing a lot of stuff for my boss, a lot of stuff that wasn't even in my job description. I was making $10 an hour. He then brings in another salesperson. And this salesperson did not have the work experience I had. He didn't have the certifications that I had. He didn't have the experience with the company that I had. And one day when I was helping the secretary do payroll, I noted that this salesperson was being paid $15 an hour to my 10. And not only was he not nearly as qualified as I was or doing nearly as much for the company as I was, he was male. And he was being paid $15 an hour, whereas I was being paid 10. And you see, there's this stigma there. And see, just because it's not a legal right doesn't mean that it's not happening. It's illegal to sexually harass someone. We get it on a daily basis. Even me, if you can believe it. I got to wonder about these poor men. It's not legal to rape someone, and it still happens. It's not legal to beat someone, and it still happens. And yes, we realize that there are men that are victims of these crimes too, but it's not nearly in the ratio that it is for women. And that's, I think, where people are getting confused. Now, you did ask a question with regards to women's health care not being taken as seriously as men's, and you asked me how that's a legal right that men have over women. So I'm going to go ahead and address that in my next video. And thank you very much for the question. Keep them coming, guys. I'm enjoying this. I love a good debate. So thank you very much. And we'll see you in the next video.